Not every fish is in the aquarium just for show. Some work, literally, to keep everything in order. They eat leftover food, control excess algae, and even prevent dirt from accumulating on the bottom. They are the true cleaners of the aquarium, and knowing how to choose the right ones can make your maintenance routine much easier. But don't be fooled. Adding any fish thinking it will solve everything is a common mistake. Each species has its own role, behavior, and even specific requirements. In this video, you'll meet 7 fish and a surprise bonus that truly make a difference, and it's not just aquarist myth. If you want a cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful aquarium without relying solely on filters and siphoning all the time, watch until the end, because understanding who does what in your aquarium can completely change the way you care for it. Press play, pay attention to the details, and write down your favorites. A balanced system starts with smart choices, and this video will show you how. 1. Pleco, the classic algae eater. When talking about fish that help clean aquariums, the pleco is almost always the first to come to mind. This is because it specializes in removing algae from surfaces, spending hours clinging to glass, rocks, and driftwood, scraping everything away with its suction cup mouth. It also consumes food scraps that fall to the bottom, helping to keep the water cleaner. A word of caution: the term pleco is generic and encompasses several species of the Corydoras family. The most common in aquariums is the hypostomus plecostomus, but there are others, such as the Ancistrus, that have similar habits and differ in size. Some pleco can exceed 30 centimeters in length, making them unsuitable for small aquariums. Despite its reputation as a cleaner, it requires a varied diet, specific pellets for bottom-dwelling fish, vegetables such as zucchini or cucumber, and even plant-based food are welcome. A well-fed pleco kept in good conditions can live for many years, making it a great ally in aquarium maintenance as long as you choose the right species for your space.
2. Corydoras, the bottom patrollers. Corydoras are small, active, and live in groups, scavenging the bottom of the aquarium for leftover food. They don't eat algae, but they are excellent at cleaning up organic debris left over from other fish's diets. They also help gently stir the substrate, preventing dirt from accumulating in specific spots. Interestingly, Corydoras can breathe out of water for short periods thanks to an adaptation in their intestines that functions as a secondary respiratory organ. This increases their resistance and tolerance to low-oxygen environments, although this shouldn't be a reason to neglect aquarium oxygenation. They are extremely peaceful, making them compatible with virtually any fish community. They prefer to live in groups of at least 4 to 6 individuals, which also encourages their natural behavior and well-being. If you want a friendly, efficient, and easy-to-care-for cleanup crew, Corydoras are an excellent choice for medium to large aquariums, especially those with fine sand bottoms.
3. Otocinclus, the mini algae cleaner. Small, discreet, and efficient, Otocinclus is one of the best fish for algae control in planted aquariums. It feeds on green and brown algae, diatoms, gently scraping surfaces such as leaves, driftwood, glass, and rocks. Because of its small size, usually between 3 and 5 centimeters, it is ideal for smaller aquariums or those with delicate plants. Despite its size, it is not a fish for absolute beginners. Otocinclus is sensitive to fluctuations in water quality and requires a well-cycled environment with stable parameters and little competition for food. It is also essential to keep it in groups, as it is a sociable fish that becomes stressed when kept alone. An interesting fact about Otocinclus is that it has a very active behavior, spending all day exploring the aquarium in search of algae. But be careful. If there is not enough algae, it needs to be given supplementary food, such as vegetable pellets or blanched lettuce leaves. If you have a well-planted aquarium,
and want an ally in the fight against algae without harming the environment, the Otocinclus is a smart and functional addition.
4. Chinese algae eater, the tireless worker with caveats. The Chinese algae eater, known by the scientific name Corydoras ammonieri, is an active and hardy fish famous for its efficiency in cleaning algae from glass and decorations. During its juvenile years, it is a veritable cleaner, spending hours clinging to surfaces, scraping algae with its specialized mouth. However, there is an important detail. As it ages, this fish can become territorial and even aggressive toward other fish, especially in small or poorly structured aquariums. Therefore, it is best recommended for aquarists who already have some experience and can provide enough space to avoid conflicts. Another point to note is that it may stop eating algae as an adult and begin to compete for food with other fish. Even so, its initial cleaning role is quite effective, especially in larger tanks with good water circulation. The Chinese algae eater can reach up to 15 centimeters, so it is not ideal for very small aquariums. But if you have the space and want a robust fish that can help control algae in the early years, it can be a worthwhile addition, as long as it's monitored closely.
5. Ancistrus, the mini pleco, ideal for smaller aquariums. Ancistrus is often confused with the common pleco, but in practice it's a much better choice for small to medium-sized aquariums. This is because, unlike plecos, which can exceed 30 centimeters in length, Ancistrus generally doesn't exceed 12 centimeters. Even so, its efficiency as an algae eater is impressive. With its suction cup-like mouth, it spends much of its time scraping algae from glass, rocks, logs, and broad leaves. It also readily accepts bottom-dwelling fish food and plant foods, such as cucumber, zucchini, or cooked spinach. A curious detail is its appearance. Adult males often develop tentacles on their faces, which give an exotic and distinctive look to the aquarium. This, along with its peaceful demeanor, makes Ancistrus a favorite among both experienced and beginner aquarists. Furthermore, it is calmer than the Chinese algae eater and adapts well to community aquariums. Just avoid placing it with very aggressive or territorial fish. If you're looking for an efficient, beautiful, and easy-to-keep bottom-dwelling fish, the Ancistrus is one of the best options to help naturally clean your aquarium.
6. Molly, the ornamental fish that also eats algae. Many people don't realize it, but mollies can contribute significantly to algae control in community aquariums. Although they aren't cleaners in the traditional sense, they constantly nibble on surfaces covered in green and filamentous algae, helping to keep the aquarium looking cleaner. Besides being useful, they are very active and colorful fish, with variations such as black molly, Dalmatian, balloon, and gold. They adapt well to different types of aquariums, preferring slightly alkaline, well-oxygenated water. They also like to swim in groups, so it's recommended to keep at least 3 to 5 specimens together. Interestingly, mollies are viviparous, meaning they don't lay eggs. The female gives birth to live young, which can turn the aquarium into a nursery if males and females are kept together. This also makes them interesting for those who want to observe the fish's life cycle up close. While they're no substitute for more specialized algae eaters, mollies are a beautiful and functional addition that helps with cleanliness and adds movement to the aquarium.
7. Japanese shrimp, Amano, the efficient mini cleaner. Although not a fish, the Amano shrimp deserves a mention on this list. Small, discreet, and extremely efficient, it is one of the best consumers of algae and food scraps in planted aquariums. Its size ranges between 4 and 6 centimeters, and its constant activity makes it a true cleaning employee. The Amano feeds on green, brown, and even some filamentous algae, as well as food scraps that fall to the bottom. It is also peaceful and can be kept in groups, which increases its efficiency in controlling pollution. The more shrimp in the aquarium, respecting the tank's stocking rate, of course, the cleaner the bottom of the tank tends to be. An interesting fact is that, unlike many other ornamental shrimp, the Amano does not reproduce in fresh water. Its larvae require brackish water to develop. This means it will not multiply uncontrollably in the aquarium, which is an advantage for those seeking balance. Ideal for planted aquariums, well-cycled and with calm fish, the Amano shrimp is a great addition to keep the environment clean without harming the plants or competing with the fish for space.
With the right species in your aquarium, you gain much more than beauty. You gain efficiency. Fish that eat leftover food, algae, and debris are part of a more intelligent and balanced system, where each resident has a role. This natural collaboration helps keep the water cleaner for longer, reducing the amount of work and improving the fish's quality of life. But it's important to emphasize, these cleaners don't replace filtration or regular maintenance. They're part of the team, not the entire team. A healthy aquarium still depends on good practices like water testing, partial water changes, and proper feeding. Now tell me, do you already have any of these fish or shrimp in your aquarium? Which one caught your eye the most? Comment below. I want to know what you thought of the list. And if you enjoy practical, straightforward, and relatable aquarium tips, subscribe to the channel. Here, each video is made for those who want to understand and better care for their fish without complications. See you next time.